What is Daredevil Born Again? To many of
I
you,
also asked
you
this
will
question.
view it as, well, Connor. That's the newly announced MCU show. But it is so much more. Some people, like Hori, very validly go, oh, it's fun because he's been reborn because he's no longer Netflix and he's in the MCU. Some people are like, oh, maybe it means he got blipped and he has to come back to his life. Again, all of these are valid.
Yeah.
But Daredevil Born Again already exists. It is the name of a 1986 Frank Miller Daredevil story arc. Now, some of you will have heard me say the name Frank Miller before. Frank Miller owned comic books being dark and gritty in the 80s and 90s. This is the guy. He changed comic book culture. Whether you agree with what he did or not, and like the way and the stories, whether you like them or not, the man's influential. And Batman and Daredevil don't exist the way they are today without him. So it would make sense, along with the ideas that it's because he's moved from Netflix to the MCU, and maybe he got blipped, which could still work with this story. That we're going to get an idea of what this show could be about from that Frank Miller story. Because while Marvel never do direct adaptations, when they use a name of something, it's because it's inspired by that story.
Yeah, they usually take at least
partially.
parts. Yeah, they take parts of them usually.
So I've got some bad news for you Daredevil fans out there who want to protect Matt Murdock at all costs, because you're going to see this man broken.
Good.
So, a couple of keynotes here. Karen, as in the secretary to their legal practice, decides to leave, and because she wants to become an actress.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this doesn't go that well. And to make ends meet, she ends up doing porn.
Oh.
And this leads to her becoming addicted to heroin.
Slippery slope.
It's very 80s view of, oh, you'll do porn, you must also be addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Her addiction then gets so bad that for a fix, she sells Daredevil's secret identity, i.e., she gives away Matt Murdock's name.
Oh, shit.
This information naturally gets to Kingpin.
Yeah.
And essentially what he does is, very secretly and very carefully, he validates the information. And then he uses it systematically to destroy every element of Matt's life.
Oh, no.
In a very careful way that makes it just seem like bad luck. He convinces one of Matt's clients that he's helped to say that Matt told him to lie on the stand, which costs him his license. He then burns down his home. He ruins any public respect he has. And he is made to be viewed by the public as a piece of garbage human being who has been pulling the wool over people's eyes this entire time.
What about Foggy?
I mean, Nelson and Murdoch goes under.
R.I.P. Foggy.
Because of the Murdoch reputation being destroyed. Then this leads to Kingpin getting a little bit too ahead of himself.
Too big for his boots.
And he then tries to bomb Matt's new home.
Jeez, okay.
And
Step
because
up.
and because of the bombing, Matt realizes that it hasn't been unlucky.
Yeah.
Someone's been targeting. Someone knows, and someone is fucking with him. And this kind of pushes Matt over the edge. It makes him insane. He starts hallucinating, and paranoia becomes off the charts. He doesn't trust anyone, not Foggy, no one. He doesn't know what's real and what's not. And naturally, he starts becoming more aggressive as a result of that. So then Kingpin decides it's time to just deal with this problem once and for all. And he reaches out to Nuke.
Nuke?
Now, Nuke is actually referenced and seen in the Netflix TV shows. I think we see him in Jessica Jones and Luke Cage.
Oh, possibly. I can't. It's been a long time. I can't remember.
But basically, Nuke is an American soldier who has been put through the American Army's attempt to recreate Captain America's super soldier serum.
Right, okay.
Fun fact, that's also what created Wolverine's adamantium claws. The same project. He is Weapon X or Weapon 10. Captain America's Weapon 1.
Yeah.
So Nuke is part of that same program.
Yeah.
And Kingpin uses his money and influence over the American army to get Nuke sent to kill Matt.
Right.
Captain America and then intervenes and helps Daredevil stop Nuke. And then when he realizes that Nuke is being used by the government and they're trying to recreate what happened to him, he
isn't happy.
Yeah, as I'm sure you can imagine, Mr. Red, White, and Blue wasn't too impressed with America's misdeeds. But he talks with Matt about what he wants to do, and Matt uses Nuke to essentially ruin Kingpin and prove that Kingpin is a villain and a fraud and a horrible human being, and kind of clear his name.
Okay.
He doesn't manage to shake off all of it, and obviously there are always going to be people, once there's bad news about you, who believe it to an extent. But he manages to clear a fair bit of his name. He doesn't get his law license back.
Well.
So he has to accept that he can't practice law anymore. But he manages to get back to some kind of resemblance of
life,
normalcy.
Yeah.
So I don't expect we're going to have Karen doing porn.
No.
Or being addicted to heroin. What we're going to have, however, is Kingpin finding out Matt's secret identity and ruining Matt's life using it. And we're going to see a very broken and beat down Matt Murdock. It makes me think of an old Spider-Man quote. It's like, everyone loves Spider-Man, but all Spider-Man fans can agree the best Spider-Man stories are when Spider-Man is hopelessly overpowered and broken and basically would happily be dead. And unfortunately, it's kind of the same for Daredevil's best stories.
I'm already trying to piece this into how it would work with the blip.
I mean, you make it that, I mean, because of what happened during the blip, Kingpin manages to realise who the...
Yeah, he realises Matt Murdock's gone and Daredevil's gone.
Yeah, because like Matt Murdock has been a thorn in Kingpin's side in the shows. Even if they only keep the Netflix stuff as partial canon and not full canon.
Yeah.
But it'll be very interesting to see their adaptation on this. And over 18 episodes, we could legitimately get 12 episodes of Matt's life just getting worse and worse and him not even knowing why.
I wonder if they open it with like him coming back from the blip and it's like everything will have changed, like situation wise. We know Kingpin's back in a pretty solid seat of power because of Hawkeye. So it's like him having to then come to terms with the fact that Kingpin's now running shit. Like nothing's as it was. He might not even have his home anymore if he's been gone and then they've given it to someone else or it got destroyed. So that could be why he has no place anymore. Karen and Foggy could have gone off and done other things because there was no law firm because Matt was gone.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what they do with it.
Or maybe they play it as the blip happened, Karen's life went to shit,
Mm.
so she sold who Daredevil was, and she was like, well, he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, he's
And
gone.
then he comes back and the information's already out there.
That's actually yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he definitely did or didn't get blipped, but if they do want him to have been blipped, there's ways they can make it work with this
They could
story.
also just do like, if he did get blipped, she wanted people to know Matt Murdock was like in a good way, and she was trying to tell people so he'd be remembered, not realizing, oh, he's going to come back and this is going to kind of bite him in the ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be, which means also with the Born Again thing is we're going to get a lot of Daredevil Kingpin action. I wonder if we get any like Hawkeye, or I suppose Echo might show up again.
I think She-Hulk and Echo are going to partially set up Born Again.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they'll answer the question of what's happened. Yeah, where he's been and what's been going on.
Yeah.
Whether that's he got blipped or.
Do you know what? I don't really care if he has or hasn't been blipped, but I want him to have been blipped for one reason only. The scene in Black Widow where we see Yelena experience being blipped.
Yes.
And like the way the color and that really cool visual scene. Yes. I'd love to just see how how Daredevil interprets
I want more of
being
that.
blipped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see. How they picture he would have interpreted that. Even if they just do it and they decide they don't want it to be blipped and that scene just gets leaked on the internet so we could see how they would have shown it. I just want to know how he would have experienced it.
I agree.
Can we just get 100 5-minute shorts of how every powerful MCU person would have experienced being blipped?
Oh no, I don't think I'm ready for Peter's.
Again. Still heartbroken.
Oh, that would be painful.